Welcome. We're here to launch the Valley Giving Guide 2022. Welcome to everybody. Thank you all for joining us. We have a lot of familiar faces and some new faces. So we'll do a little revisiting of the event structure. So bear with me, those of you who are familiar with it. And then we will go into kind of some event updates and key dates for this year. And then Liz will do her magic and walk through the tech side of everything. She's the one who actually, knows how to do all the fancy stuff. So first, I would like to introduce you. We have a few new team members at the Community Foundation. Miss Sarah Archer is here. She's our new development director, and she is very qualified in supporting nonprofits through this event. I know you all know that, but she will be available as a resource for you all. And then we have, Kristen Boyer, who I need to rename because right now she's named Cole Medina. That's not Cole, that's Kristen. She's our new director of finance. She joined us at the end of the event last year, and we may have introduced her in February at the debrief. But this year she will be involved through the whole thing. She'll make the magic happen with all those stock donations, RMDs, QCDs, all that fun stuff. And then we have Liz on here somewhere. Everybody knows Liz. I feel like she might have her video off right now just to be fun. And then we have a new office manager. His name is Thomas Thompson. He and Cole both extend their apologies for not being here today. They both got COVID last week, and they're doing fine. They're getting better, but we're not allowing them to walk through the doors at the office. So, and we're all slightly morbidly grateful that it's happening now instead of December, which is what happened to our office last year. So maybe, knock on wood, December will be free of COVID here. Okay, next on my agenda. What is the Valley Giving Guide? Why are we all here? Well, ultimately, it's a tool. It's a tool for every nonprofit in our service area to use to the fullest extent that you want to. We provide a platform, but it's really about supporting the year-end giving that you all do, and spreading your message as far as we can and gaining support for your mission from as many sources as possible. So we have the website, and that's the template for giving. That's really how it is streamlined. And then BMCF provides the bonus pool, which allows us to do umbrella marketing for the event, do the advertisements in all of our local papers. And then it provides the bonus pool, which is where those matching funds come from. So that's kind of the big overall structure. We sort of manage the technology in the background, but it's really everybody in this Zoom space. It's your event. And the success of the event comes from the effort that you all put in. And so we build the scaffolding, but you are actually pouring the foundation and erecting the building. So with that, shall we do a little victory lap from last year? So Valley Giving Guide 2021 was a overwhelming success. Y'all killed it. We raised collectively $2.8 million. And I'm going to break that down. I have my little cheat sheet, so bear with me. We had 131 participating nonprofits. sponsorship pool that covers kind of those big costs, the umbrella marketing. We also cover the credit card processing costs. And those last year totaled $24,580. Our umbrella marketing efforts reached over 60,000 households throughout our 4-county service area. And this is one of my favorites. 90% of the participating nonprofits received donations from new donors. We want to tap into those people who maybe don't know who you are yet, but they should, and we want to help them. So, are there any other really awesome? Oh, here's another really good stat. 64% of donors reported that they gave more than they normally give during their year-end giving. So again, another good reason why we do this event. Okay, enough with the victory lap. Let's talk about 2022. Last year, I set our goal at $1 million. We were definitely going to raise $1 million. And y'all did that within what, the first 2 weeks? So I'm struggling with setting a goal for this year. And if you want to think about it and throw some ideas in the chat, we can take a look at them at the end, because I certainly have not been able to land on a good number. I mean, I have some ideas, don't worry, but I haven't settled yet. So feel free to share your thoughts. 2 million, yeah, Catherine, yeah. There it is, Glenn. That's the number I was thinking. I like that, 3.5. Yeah, here's where we've landed on our matching structure. I am banning the F word from our event. And that's the word fees. And I'll tell you why. The word fee is a misnomer. There are actual giving days and giving events that charge their nonprofits to participate. And they don't usually have a match. And the nonprofits basically only perk of participating is the exposure and then any prizes that they can win. Our event is not structured that way. We do not charge fees to participate. We do not charge fees. And so we will not use that term this year. This is the last time you're going to hear me say the F word. So here's how we're going to talk about it. Okay, so how are we going to talk about the event this year? No fees. It's a matching structure, because that's what it is. Every donation is matched. And then you can hear the little asterisk in my voice. Every donation is matched. I learned a hard lesson last year that it makes sense for us to cap the total match at the first 10,000 of every donation. We ultimately ended up doing that at the end of last year. It affected about 8 organizations, and it made it so that we could do a 10% match. So this year, instead of retroactively explaining that to people, I'm telling you now, donations will be matched to the first 10,000. So if you get a $15,000 gift, the first 10,000 will get matched at whatever the matching percentage is. And then, but it still will be a significant match, and it's still free bonus money. The match, of course, we all know the match is a guesstimate until the end of the event, because we have no idea how much we will raise. We have no idea how much additional contributions our donors will add to their gifts. They will still have that option to add on to the bonus pool. And we don't know, you know, expenses are kind of variable right now with mailers and stuff. As we all know, pricing is going up. So we're working on gathering all of those prices, but we don't have all that settled. So it's really fun, I know, to operate in kind of the nebulous uncertainty of those statements, but that's where we are. But our matching structure will start for every single donation with a base match. And that will be hopefully 7%. This is just an estimate and an example. And then that will be for every donation, every stock donation, every check, everything that happens is at least a 7% match on that first 10,000. There's a base match and a maximum match. The maximum match will be, if the base is 7, the max will be hopefully 10. The maximum match is achieved through those online donations. So again, every donation is matched. There are no F words. In fact, we are covering a lot of those other F words that happen in the world when you accept donations on your own. There's a base match. Every single donation gets the base match. There's the max match. Those are online donations. How's that for 9 months of obsessing? Does it make sense? There was a lot of, there were a lot of conversations last year about, you know, and people, it doesn't feel good to say that F word. So I want you all to feel good about it. I want you to know that the point of this event is to benefit each of your organizations and your mission. And we are covering all the fees in order to make that happen. Okay. And I hope that we can sort of spread that messaging forward to our people, to our teams, to our volunteers, to our donors, so that everybody can kind of reframe how we look at this event. Shelley, yes, so Shelley asks, can we call it a bonus instead of a match? Because match is misleading. It is a match. We're matching each donation at 7 to 10%. It's not a 100% match, but it is still a match. We're providing matching dollars for every donation. So I don't think we can change that word, especially because we also have the bonus pool, which then kind of gets weird. So bonus pool is where the match comes from, but it's bigger than that. The match is a range base to max that will be determined at the end of the event, hopefully at a minimum of 7 to 10%. Last year I did office hours. I'm doing that again this year. I'm structuring it a little bit differently. So this year you have the opportunity to book in 15-minute increments your own office hours on Tuesdays between 11 and 1. The link is in my email signature. It will be in the email, the VGG emails that I send out weekly, and it'll be on all your key date resources, all of that good stuff. Please feel free. I'm not going to do the thing where I just sit in a Zoom by myself for 2 hours. I will only be joining the office hours Zooms if I have an appointment. But please use it. If you have a question, if you're stuck, if you just want to chat, I don't care. Use that, book a time. You can book, 2 back-to-back so we can have 30 minutes if you have multiple questions. But it's there for you. I'm trying to be more accessible, but last year, you know, we really got buried with all of this, and I don't want to do that again this year. So my goal is to really be as accessible as possible for you. We do have a few more staff members this year, so I think we will be able to address everybody's questions, challenges, concerns in real time. But please use office hours if anything comes up.
The link to schedule an appointment is in the chat.
Thanks, Liz. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the eligibility for nonprofits. We all have to be either registered as an active 501c3 with the IRS, or be acting under a fiscal sponsor. And then there are the state filings. We are aware there is a small backlog with the state of Washington and the state of Oregon. We haven't fully figured out how we're going to address that. I just want to reiterate to all of you that we're aware. So if there's something like weird happening with your annual report filing, if it's showing you as dissolved and you're not, you know, you can proactively reach out to me and let me know. You can send me the confirmation email from your filing that shows that you did it. But we'll get through it together. So if there's something weird going on at the state level with your organizations, let's talk about it, preferably during office hours. Okay, I know that's stressful for everybody. We're battling a battle with them too, so it's, you know, it's across the board. And yeah, it'd be nice if they got that together sooner than later. Okay, so I've touched on a couple like big points. I'm sorry, I kind of jumped right in. For anybody new here, you're probably kind of feeling like you're drinking from a fire hose. But I'm about to hand it off to Liz. Does anybody have any questions about any of the topics that I've touched on? Then Liz is up.
All right, I'm going to share my screen and show you all of the fun technology components. So, you know, as you may have guessed from Greer discussing the maximum match, online giving is the primary focus of the Valley Giving Guide. So the Valley Giving Guide website is hugely important. This is where all of your nonprofits will have your own profile page where your donors can come and make those donations. So I'm going to do just a very brief walkthrough today of how to register if you're brand new, or how to log back in and edit your profile if you're not brand new. And then in September, we'll have a more in-depth training of more specifics on how to fill out those profiles. So the big thing, valleygivingguide.org, that's the website you're looking for. You see our lovely collection of pictures. We need new pictures. Please send us any that you have. We want to promote the work that you do. And this is a great opportunity to get those pictures out there. So if you have any, send them my way, and we'll be happy to include those throughout the different materials that we'll be producing. So if you are a brand new organization, have not participated in 2021, you'll head over to the NPO registration tab. So there's just this little form to get you started. There is a limit to one organization per EIN from this side of the program. So if your organization is already in the system, you're going to get a nice little message saying that your organization already exists and to contact the administrator. If you don't know who that is, or if there's been turnover and you're the new person, just reach out to us and we'll get it straightened out for you. If you are a fiscally sponsored organization and your parent organization is also participating, then one or both of you will need to reach out to us so that we can set up an additional profile. It is possible. The system just doesn't let you do it because it's trying to stop you from creating duplicate profiles. So we can definitely help with that. Now, if you did participate last year, you can skip this whole step and just go straight to the NPO login tab. So you already should have a login from last year. It's your email and your password. If you don't remember your password, we have the awesome forgot your password option, and it'll send you an email with a new way to set up a new password. So I will pop in really quickly here just to show you kind of what it'll look like, brief refresher. So I have 2 test organization profiles. If you only have one organization, you'll skip this step, but if you are managing more than one, you can pick which organization's page you want to work on. So I'll just pick test organization and select 2022, and we're in the dashboard. So this will look familiar to anyone who participated last year. There's nothing different in here, and you'll see the different options on the side to edit your profile and to add any users to your organization if there's more folks than just yourself that are working on it. So that's just a quick jump in of how you can get back into your account. If you've changed emails, changed organizations, or have any special circumstances, Greer's office hours are a great place to start. Or you can reach out by email. We have a giving guide email. It's givingguide@bluemountainfoundation.org. Any general questions that you may have, that's a great email to reach out to, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And you can start working on this today. Registration is officially open. So everything is live. You can hop on valleyGivingGuide.org, take a look at your profile, or start your organization's registration. And if you did participate last year, all of your information is already back in the system. So if you don't want to make any changes, your life's going to be pretty simple. You can just go in and you'll check that you're interested in participating in 2022, and you'll be all set. So there's a checkbox here saying that you've reviewed your profile and everything's accurate and you're ready to go. If you want to make any changes, you can do that as well. And one of the key things to note is the print description on that profile. So as a component of the Giving Guide, we do a newspaper insert that is delivered to all the local newspapers in our region. And we include your logo, and we include a brief description of your organization. So we're really strict on this, that you can't have more than 250 characters. We would ideally like to see your print description be between 150 and 250 characters. It's just going to look so much better if everyone has around the same size description. So this is your elevator speech moment, and it is characters, not words. And we will reach out to you if you have too many characters. You will probably not be alone. There were quite a few last year, but we do want to limit that to 250 characters, just so that everybody's nonprofit has a chance to fit in the insert and be listed and be seen. So that is something that you'll have to do that's on the online registration, but isn't actually going to be visible on the website. It's just an easy way for us to collect that information from you. So that is a quick crash course in the profile. And again, September 22nd is the training date that we'll have a more in-depth look at all the different fields in here and walk through different ways that you can utilize the rich text editor to make your profile a little bit more interesting than just straight text. So that's coming up in September. And if you're wondering, gosh, you guys already have training scheduled and I don't even know about that, how do I find that information? The key dates is integral for this. So we have all of our training sessions listed on the key dates document. And you might be wondering, okay, that's great, but how do I find the key dates documents? So on the Valley Giving Guide website, there is a resources option. So I'm fighting with the system right now. It should be part of the main navigation, but it's just not working quite yet. But if you scroll to the footer, you can find the resources tab. And that takes you to our magical Dropbox folder. It has all of our planning materials. It will have promotion materials. We're not quite there yet as we're finalizing our sponsors, but it'll have postcards and posters and flyers and other things that you can print out and use to promote the full event. It also has all of our logos. So we have 3 different styles of the logo this year. One that just says 2022. And then the other 2 have the start date and the end date. So November 29 and December 31. And they have with the green, we have the blue, we have the dark blue, and we have the full color logo. in different file types. So if you need to put the logo on any of your own materials on your website or anything like that, you can go straight to the Dropbox and download those, and they're all in there and ready to go. So again, valleygamingguide.org, resources, Dropbox. It's got all the great stuff in it. So we are going to keep adding things as we get closer to the event, but one of those items in the Dropbox is the key dates item. In addition to the Dropbox, Greer sends out about a weekly newsletter that has upcoming training links to register. It has the link for her office hours, and it also will have just any latest news that we have and sponsors and that information. When you do have the key dates in front of you, these are all hyperlinks. So you can click on the training session link to register, or you can click on the office hours link to pull up that Calendly calendar to book your time with Greer. So we try and make it as easy as possible. And then we'll always have the link to register for the next training on the main valleygamingguide.org website, which I'm sure many of you saw when you registered for today's session, lives right here. So we try to make it as easy as we can, put it in a bunch of different places and send out reminders. We are working on getting the sign-up form added to the website. So if you're not on our mailing list for the Valley Giving Guide, or you're not on the Blue Mountain Nonprofit News, then you can sign up and make sure that you're not missing any of those emails. So I think that's all I was going to talk about. But again, pictures, 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 send us pictures, pictures. And I will hand it back to Greer now. And stop sharing, maybe. There we go.
Thanks, Liz. Any questions? There were a couple in chat, and I think I got them. Chris pointed out that there might be something not working with the selecting categories and counties, Liz.
Oh, yes, that's because we are going to automatically fill those in. If that was right. That was my understanding.
There you go.
Yeah,
how about
so
for
we
new
will
organizations?
Fill those areas in for you. The category will be based off of the GuideStar system, and then the county will be based on wherever you're physically headquartered. So we know there's a lot of overlap between folks who operate in multiple counties, but just to make it simpler, we're going to just go with where you're physically located. And rest assured that folks will still find you, because we do encourage the primary way for you to get donors to your profile page is sending them directly to your page rather than valleygamingguide.org. So we'll be taking care of those. And if you have any questions or issues with that, definitely send us an email or a phone call and we'll talk it through with you. If you don't have your GuideStar up to date, definitely take a look at that, because that is the system that we'll be using for those large category buckets. And those are on the website on that main screen. We've got animal welfare, environment, art, culture, and history, childcare, child well-being, community and economic development, education, hunger, housing, and basic needs, and health and well-being. So everybody divides out into those pretty easily. We know that there's some overlap, but GuideStar's little system of categorization usually answers all of those questions.
Yes. And Chris, so hopefully Liz addressed your question, but again, so many organizations do multiple things through their mission delivery. Okay, Chris says, yes, you did, Liz. But yeah, we're gonna use a GuideStar taxonomy just to keep it simple. Arendra asking about the task requirement for donor thank yous. This is a big one. We're asking you to commit and assert that you will say thank you to your donors. You have full access through that really super slick website to your donor list in real time. So some organizations sort of download that weekly and send thank yous. Some do it at the end of the event. We're not telling you how to do it. We just really want to be sure that you do it. Yeah, saying thank you is big. We do the tax receipts. They're automatically generated through that website. So there's no need to process on that level. It's really more about just acknowledging the gift and saying thank you.
Yeah, the task itself, it just says, do you promise that you're going to do this, basically? And you click complete, and then great, you have met that requirement.
And we aren't policing that.
Yeah. Scouts honor on that one.
Yeah. Anonymous donations, same protocol as last year. If they're anonymous, they're anonymous.
Extra attention in the tax receipt. It's bold, and I think also underlined now, reminding folks that if they chose to be anonymous, this is all the acknowledgement that they will be getting, because that is what they asked for. And if you made a mistake, give us a call and we can make that not anonymous. So we're trying to make it very clear the donors understand that the tax receipt's all they're going to get, and they should not be contacting you upset or angry because they didn't get thanked because they chose to keep that information to themselves. So we're trying to take care of any pain points there for you all.
Yeah, and if you know that you have donors who generally prefer to be anonymous, but you know that they wouldn't mind you knowing who they are, please communicate with them. If they have special requests about their anonymity, we can accommodate that as long as they talk to us and let us know in writing. We need, their agreement to whatever it is they prefer. But if it comes to us at marked anonymous, that's the end. Acknowledging on your website, Chris, I would say, and this goes for everybody, you acknowledge your donors however you do, as guided by your policies and practices for your organization. If that's listing on your website, do it. If it's, doing a shout out on Facebook, do it. Nothing needs to change in terms of how you acknowledge your people. These are still your donors. They're coming through this website, but you have full access to the data, and we do not use the data except to support your work. So please do whatever you want. Jenna had a question about the image carousel that Liz answered, but that's a place where you can put up to 3 images for your organization, and it flips through on your unique profile in the website. If anybody else had that question. So Jan just put in the chat, thank you for the update. But just to clarify, we will be providing donors who indicate that they want to be anonymous. They will still receive acknowledgement from us in the form of a tax receipt. But when you log into your profile to look at your donor list, you will not see any information. You'll see the date and you'll see the amount. Everything else will be anonymous. But they do get, the legally required acknowledgement. All right. We have a new Spotify playlist. You got a little preview as you joined the meeting. And yes, it is still full of all of my silly references and humor. That does sometimes include swears. So I'm sorry, but there is adult language. If you don't like the song, please skip to the next one. Hopefully that one doesn't have adult language. But it's just supposed to be fun and make us smile and give us some little boost as we're working on our profiles and working on all of our year-end giving stuff. So there you go. Enjoy. Again, made with humor for your enjoyment. And if you don't like it, I am sorry, but I will not take it personally, and I hope you don't either. Remind you all that we need photos. One of the big things that sets us apart in how we do things, especially that insert, is that we use all local photos. And I may or may not have a stake in the ground with my team about the importance of that. So please prove me right again this year. I really like to be right. Send us your photos. Be sure that you have, you know, it's available and usable for public consumption. Your releases are in place, but please send them. They're great and we love them. And we don't have a lot of, you know, active service delivery photos because that's not how we operate. So we really, really need you to send them on over. Okay. Now, we're doing prizes again. I sent out an email that had a little asterisk that said, if you reply to this email with the correct answer, you may or may not get a prize. So the reference was, and just like that. And there are 3 winners who got the first context for that, which is Sex and the City, the new reboot called And Just Like That. And so that's Katie Brown, Monica Boyle, and Maddie Richards. And Maddie gets a double prize. And I think Monica's with us. I haven't seen the other 2. But Maddie gets a bonus prize because she also got that it was a reference to the Bonnie Raitt concert and tour, which is also titled Just Like That, which was also happening like the day or the day after I sent that email. So yay to them. For new people, we do prizes at our trainings. I always try to keep it semi-interesting as usual. But it's a fun little thing. We do $10 gift cards. You know, it's just, again, kind of like the playlist, a little way to keep us all excited about what we're doing together. So stay tuned. You never know what the next category will be for our prizes. Again, we'll share the recording and the slides from this. I'm gonna pause right there because that's sort of where I start to wrap it up. And I'm gonna say, does anyone want to come off mute? Ask a question. Y'all. Okay.
Arendra has a question in the chat. Are we
Okay.
doing competition this year? That is a great question in that it's kind of up to you guys. But we will be having prizes again. We are working on making some more interesting prizes. We'll probably have a lot of the same prizes. If there's any like wacky or zany prize that you want to throw out there, we're happy to hear those recommendations. But we did see from our survey of donors that they did enjoy some of those prizes. So we want to try and keep that enthusiasm going because it's a month-long event and we get that that's a challenge for everyone to stay focused. So just a few fun things throughout to keep the enthusiasm and momentum going for giving as we're in, you know, day 17 and everyone's getting weary. So we'll keep you posted. The leaderboard will still be there. We are working with our tech guys to see what other options we have for sorting that leaderboard beyond just, I think right now it's dollars or number of donors. We're looking at some alphabetical or other options. So we'll keep you posted on how that goes. But again, we really strongly encourage you to send folks to your page. Don't send them to valleygivingguide.org. They might get lost. Send them right to you. Pictures to givingguide@bluemountainfoundation.org. And there is a folder in the Dropbox that you should be able to upload to as well, since we know pictures can be kind of a pain to email.
And please be sure if there's a photo credit necessary to indicate that either in the file name. You can just do PC and then whatever the credit is. But just be sure to do that if it's necessary. But otherwise, thanks for being here. I hope you'll join us again this year. It's going to be great. 3.5 million. Glenn set the bar. Thanks, everyone.